Welcome everybody to the Culture Shock Podcast, episode number 1. I'm so happy and blessed to be here with my co-host, Mr. Los, the CEO of Black of the Berry. Everybody should know him by now. This is years in the making.
Facts.
And today we're speaking about something very special and dear to my heart, and something that's very hard to the public to talk about in ways. It's more shown and more talked about now than ever. But mental health is something that has hit America and really around the world hard. And it's something that has really been taking a deep dive and looked into deeply. But today we have a special guest. Her name is Karen Simmons, a therapist that knows everything about this stuff. And is gonna help us, me and Los today, learn a lot. And also you guys as the viewers learn a lot about mental health, therapy, and maybe it'll just give you a very special insight. So welcome,
Free therapy,
guys.
yo.
Welcome, guys. How are you, Karen?
Hey,
How
Patrick.
are you? How's everything? Karen, that's Los.
Good,
Los,
good.
Karen.
Hey, Los, how are you?
I'm great, Karen. I think we're gonna have a riveting time tonight. I'm excited.
Absolutely,
All right.
absolutely. So, Karen, right off the bat, let me start you off with something hot.
Yeah.
Start you off with something hot. Tell me
All
something.
right.
Tell me something. What made you want to be a therapist? What made you want to step into this field? What just made you want to help people?
There's a gratification and helps. And so any way that you can help people, it's gratifying. And because this is something that I believe that I'm not only gifted at, but extremely good at and want to do, here I am today helping people.
Right. I think that people like you are truly special and inspirational, more than you guys are given credit for, in my opinion. You know, you guys are so
Absolutely.
looked over.
Essential.
In my opinion, you guys are so looked over, but you guys are so essential to just everyday things that happen in life, and just getting up in the morning and feeling good about yourself. Sometimes it takes more than just you. It takes things and people. It takes a village, like they say. You know, the old cliche.
Yeah.
But you truly can be the village to somebody, and I think that we all can say that we appreciate you for even taking on the challenge. All right, so Karen, so another question I have to ask you:
hmm
what is the hardest part about doing what you do, being a therapist, helping people every day, being so impactful? But what's the thing you not take home, but really hits you in the heart doing this line of work and really helping people?
I think the hardest thing truly is when I find someone who gives up on themselves.
Right.
Yeah, they just give up on themselves, and so it's very difficult to try to bring someone back once they have given up.
Okay. Now, do you feel like you have like a because I feel like you do, but do you feel like yourself that you have a gift for this? Because I feel like people always have this question of, I've been to therapy, I don't really like it. My therapist just told me all the same stuff. I've heard all of this before. My therapist has told me all the same stuff, so it's not for me. Do you feel
Yeah.
like you have a gift in what you do?
I have several gifts.
Okay. Tell us
I have
about them, because I
several
want to know.
gifts
And that's perfect.
and what I do. And as you know, Patrick, I have the
Mhm.
ability to tap right into you,
Right into the heart.
right into the heart, and
Mhm.
deal with the heart of the matter.
Right.
Most of my gift derives from the truth. And that's what people fear the most,
Right.
the truth. We don't want to look at the truth, but the truth indeed can set you free and free you up in order to move forward and progress in your life. So yes, I have several gifts. I definitely do.
Keep
And
rattling them off. I
it
want to
has
know more.
worked in perfection with, I tell people all the time, I have not lost the case yet.
That's what I love. That's what I
Mhm.
love.
Slight flex from
That's
therapist.
what I love. Now I know Los. Yeah. Now I know Los has some real good questions, because I know Los has talked to me about it personally.
Yeah.
But I know Los has a couple questions for you that really he's intrigued, and I think that viewers that have never done therapy would absolutely love to know too. And I'm sure they have these questions as well. Go ahead, Los. Ask these questions up.
All right, Karen.
Yes, sir.
I'm kind of a small Mike Tyson when it comes to this journalism thing with these questions. You know, I'm ferocious. So, as a therapist,
Yes, sir.
how difficult is it for you to decondition some of the conditioning that some of your patients have, like, or you know, that they carry into your session? How hard is it to peel back that onion?
So I'm going to answer that question maybe in two parts. First of all, it's not difficult at all because in what I do, I don't do the work. I help you see yourself and you peel back your own onion. And so I just provide a platform and a place of safety that you feel comfortable enough to peel back.
You got him thinking. Look, he quiet.
Yeah,
he's talking about roses. He's stuck.
I'm stuck. I'm like,
he's
damn,
stuck.
She shut me down. All right, but I can switch this because okay, so then,
Sure.
What kind of tips can you give to people who aren't as aware and who are stuck in themselves, and sometimes that they need to decondition that already existing conditioning? You know what I mean? Because stuff like therapy, why we don't go to therapy is because we have this preconceived notion that it's perceived this way, and we don't want to go for that reason. So it's like we need to decondition that condition in order to be fully self-aware.
So I get what you're saying, and that's half the truth, right? So the first part of the truth of the matter is people don't go to therapy because they're not informed, okay? They don't understand the benefits of someone helping them to help themselves, right? So there's a stigma attached to counseling and therapy, right? That something is wrong.
Right.
And that's a misconception, right?
Right.
We all have to deal with life, and life is difficult within itself. That makes everyone in the position of something being wrong in life. Now, there are situations whereas it's just life. And then there's also clinical situations. So there's a difference. So there's clinical psychotherapy, and there's therapy for dealing with life issues. All right.
Now.
Okay.
I see. Yeah. I think you might have to say that again for the people in the back.
Yeah, no problem. I'll say it again. So there are people who really in life clinically need therapy. And there are people in life that just need help to understand where they are.
Direction.
Absolutely. Now, what's very interesting, especially with your generation, I call them, you are the emerging adults, right? So emerging adults are in their developmental stage.
Absolutely.
Emerging adults are from age 18 to 29, okay? In that respect, you are still searching. You are still becoming. And life is difficult as you are on the road. And what the problem is that because you are emerging adults coming out of what we would consider adolescence, you are coming out wanting your own autonomy, okay? Having dealt with maybe a parental or some sort of authoritative influence. Now you're on your own and you want to find it out all by yourself. But what you don't understand in this stage is that in every stage of life, we need help. We need assistance and we need direction.
Right. No, and I second that. You know, for me personally, growing up, I can only speak, for myself, but I know a lot of men in general, especially the male population, we kind of have to bury a lot, right? And we kind of told in life, we got to be the tough guy. We got to be the guy that buries everything. We got to be the guy that deals with everything, whether it be for the family, for your friends, for anybody. We have to deal. And sometimes we have the outlet, but you know, the outlet is usually a friend that, I'm not going to say every friend's like that. They'll tell you the truth, but they got love for you. And it's not to say they a therapist won't have love for you, but you know, it's, to me, it's like, you know, sometimes you hear from somebody that doesn't know everything but understands everything before, and it's a complete different ball game, different animal, right?
They're too biased though. You can count on your friends, and you
right, but they exactly, but they want to see you happy.
They're not objective.
They're not willing to take you down to the ground where you're buried and pick you back up. They're gonna just try to give you that rope. They're gonna throw you the rope and pull you out just to quickness, you know.
Yeah, which you appreciate though.
Right,
you do. That is definitely appreciated.
So my thing to you, Karen, is like, you know, I'm sure you see men and women, and I'm sure you see all different types of things. But do you find that males, it's harder to rip them out of that hole or pull them back out than it is female presence? Or do you feel like it's just the whole generation as a whole?
Well, I'm going to speak generally and then specifically, right? So generally, men don't seek help.
Right.
You know, it's part of their DNA. I can work it out.
Right.
Right. I'm going to work it out, or I'm supposed to work it out.
Yes.
Right. Oddly enough, I have just as many men that I deal with than women. Okay. These particular men have either through word of mouth or just encounters with me have found a place of comfort. And I think with men, you have to be comfortable. What you mentioned is that, you know, you're comfortable with your friend. I get that. But the problem with that is that your friend is on the same level as you. May have experienced a little bit of something different, but you're yet traveling the same road. You need someone who has lived a little while, that knows a little something that can help you along the way. Okay. So men in general don't seek help. That's number one. In particular, African-American men, because of the stigma, right, culturally, as well as, you know, their environment and their community says, oh, no, right? And you will find more other cultures where men have come to the realization that, you know what, it's okay to seek help. It's okay to get wise counsel.
Right.
It is.
Right.
It is.
And that's
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Finish.
No, that's primarily what it is. Seeking wise counsel. Understanding that you don't know it all. And there's someone that can help you figure some things out.
And to piggyback off that, it's crazy to me because as you're articulating that, I sit here and think about it like, okay, like people in neighborhoods know, like, okay, you know, every neighborhood has OGs, that people who know and that protect and just know the ways of the land, right?
Right.
And everybody respects them for teaching us and respect and we respect them enough to learn from them.
Right.
It's the same concept.
It is.
It's the same concept. So how do we herald one of them and think this is so far out and so taboo? And it's like it's crazy now that I'm seeing it. It's like it's the same concept.
Because they probably because of comfortability too, and knowing that, you know, hearing that they're the OG and knowing that they're the OG and seeing that is sometimes, I guess, culture is just not cool, but like cool at the same time. Like, yeah, all right, I'm talking to the OG right here. Hey, you know what I'm saying? He knows everything. All right, cool, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, whatever he's gonna tell me, I should really listen to. You know, and then you hear something that's like professional, which it is professional, but at the same time, it's still life and it's still real lessons and stuff to be learned. And man, you know, me personally doing therapy, you tap into stuff that you ain't even know you could tap into, and you learn things about yourself that you don't even know that you had, or the problems that you had. You may have thought like, oh, you know, I'm a little crazy, got a little problems, but then you tap in, it's like, damn, boy, you know what I'm saying? And so my question to you, Karen, when people falter, because plenty of people go through therapy and they have ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
I know in therapy that you just don't go straight up, or you just don't go up.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you come back down. So when you have somebody that goes up and is doing great and then comes back down,
Yeah.
when they're not a lost cause, what is the best way to bring them back to that level? I know I shouldn't say that, but what's the way to bring them back to that level?
She can't professionally say that.
I know she can't. I know. I'm gonna say it. She can't, but I'm gonna say it.
Damn.
Yeah, especially,
Yeah. Well, it each case is different,
right.
and it really is based on the understanding of the individual.
Mm-hmm.
What they can take, where they are, and speaking their language,
Right.
so that they can understand. So it happens often,
Mm-hmm.
because of one thing or another. So that's not foreign
Mm-hmm.
for me to have experienced, but it also takes a therapist, a coach, a counselor to have patience and understand who she or he is dealing with, right? You were talking, and one of the things that came to me was, yeah, that OG, you know what the difference is with the OG and the counselor or therapist? One of the differences is trust, right?
Right.
You trust the OG. You understand that the OG has your best intentions at heart. And so in finding the right therapist, the right counselor, the right coach, you have to really connect with them and know that they have your best interests at heart. You're going to know that in the first session. You're going to understand in the first session if the person that you have chosen can relate to you or not. And if that person does an introductory session, you're going to know. And, we can relate to that, because even with you, someone who never thought that you would see someone like me, right? Or a therapist at all, I was able to tap into you. I was able to make you feel comfortable. I was able to meet you where you were.
Mm-hmm.
And that produced trust.
Right. Plus the fact that you give off, the auntie vibe at the barbecue that we chilling and we kicking
I
it.
am the auntie. I'm the auntie.
I picked up at 5 seconds in pre-production. I said, well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You look like you're gonna make a mean mac and cheese.
I do.
The cookouts, baby. We had the cookouts, baby.
How do I know that?
Absolutely. When all else fails, come over. I make you some macaroni and cheese and some fried chicken. You be all right.
Oh boy, yeah, we are there. We are there.
Invitation to me.
Yeah, but really, it's important that you find someone that you can trust, and I think trust is a great big issue in terms of telling people. I'm going to speak culturally again, but a lot of cultures have gotten it. They caught the wisdom, they understand. And it's really, first of all about trust. It really is. Right. Because you have to expose yourself. You have to tell on yourself. And sometimes people don't want to tell themselves about themselves. Right. Let alone tell someone else so that they can work out the true issues in their life. So it takes a lot to really come to the conclusion that, and here's the quotes, I need some help. Mm-hmm. But the fact of the matter is that we all need help. We never stop needing help because we're constantly becoming. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. And it is so wise of us to find someone that has been down that road or has the knowledge and the wisdom and the understanding of where you are to help you bypass some of the potholes in the road, help you to understand the mountains that you have to climb,
Oh, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, talk
Whoa.
that shit.
Whoa.
Talk that shit. Yeah,
Whoa.
free therapy. Talk that shit.
Whoa.
If there's a segment, talk that shit, Karen.
Whoa.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
I know you can't curse, but I'm a curse. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you
Talk
know,
that shit. Yeah. But
but
no.
see, what I just gave you
Mhm.
is the truth of the matter, right? And the fact of the matter is, which is the way that I operate, the truth is the truth. It cannot lie.
Right.
And when you hear the truth, it impacts you. It's impactful. And you want to know more, even though you're afraid, you do want to know more, right? Because we all want to be better.
Right.
We all want to be better.
Right. Some people are just scared to be better.
They're scared to be, they're afraid to be better, and they don't know who can help them be better.
Right. How many years have you been doing this, Karen? If you don't mind
My
me asking?
goodness. Professionally, I've been doing this over 20 years. Over 20 years.
Now, do you wake up? I know when you first started, like from 20 years ago to now, do you still have that same fire, that same desire? Because to me, it shows that you do. But do you truly have that same fire and desire every time that you wake up and you know that, hey, I got this many sessions I got to do and I got to listen and truly help people? Do you still have that same fire that you did as you started day one?
No, I don't.
Ooh.
Because I have learned more.
Okay.
I have grown. So my fire that's burning now is even greater than 20 years ago. I've experienced a lot. I've learned through people and encounters and things. I've gotten wiser. I've gotten smarter. Therefore, I can help you better. So my fire and my excitement about what I know and how I can impact your life is greater than 20 years ago.
And so I got another one though. So when you first started, I'm sure Los has been with it in situations where you have people in your life that just, they mean well, but they zap the energy out of you. Like,
Lord.
you get to talk to them and
energy
like
suckers, get them away from me.
Fog that just, that comes. Now you do this professionally. Now in the beginning, obviously you understood what you were up against, right? You understood you had a gift. But was there times in the beginning when you first started that, man, you get out of those sessions, you go lay in bed, you be like, damn, I'm zapped. Like, I'm flushed.
And that's a good question. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's my question.
But sorry.
Here's some important things, right? So I am still very teachable, okay? And so in that fact, I have learned how to debrief. So not only have I done this, but I've been a hospital chaplain. And in chaplaincy, we learn how to debrief. So when dealing with death and dying every day, and families every day that have to face the death of their loved ones, that's heavy burdens. But in that training, I learned how not to take my work home with me. That carries me through. So yes, there are times where I am overloaded. Grief within itself, and I've been a grief counselor for over 20 years. That's a heavy burden. And so learning how to take that off of you, because when you help people, you take on their burden. So yes, I've learned how to debrief and let that stuff go. And it could be as simple as a walk around the block.
That's what I'm about to say. How mastered, how like, because you're talking about this, like we're talking about it in the sense of endurance at this point.
Absolutely.
So this is like, you have to know your remedies, and I'm about to say, how does that, like, okay, so it's the walk in the park, what is it like, because for me, I'm looking at it and I'm like, you said you're a grief counselor for X amount of years, 20 years, right? You are over 20 years. Okay. So you are the last bit of hope, last shred of hope for people sometimes. Their last, like, how strong and patient do you have to be in those type of situations as well?
So endurance is a good word. Strength and patience is great. But when you get into this kind of line of business, it's experience that is the best teacher. You can understand what they're going through, you can relate, but you also know how you got out and how impactful that was for you to be freed of that feeling. So that drive within itself supersedes anything else because you want them to make it through. So you're able to let it go because you know how important it is for them to make it through. And it's like that cheerleader at the end of the tunnel or at the end of a race. Come on, you got it. You can do it. You can do it. And that supersedes the exhaustion and all of the other things that come along with it. You know how to debrief. You know how to let down. You know that if they come through, their life will be so much better. And that's such a greater reward of anything that you're going through in the present time, because you see the goal, you have the vision, and that's your point of reference. In life, we always need a point of reference. We need to know where we want to be. And in life, when struggles come, the most place that we want to be is out of the struggle.
Absolutely. Nearest exit, fastest thing smoking.
The bottom line is, I have the responsibility and the endurance, right? And the call and the gift and the knowledge.
Preach,
right?
preacher.
To guide you out because I know the way.
Go ahead, Los. I know you got more questions. Go ahead. I know you think it hard. Go ahead.
Oh my
I don't want to steal any of your questions. Go ahead.
Punch you right in my stomach with that one. What? So you mentioned some of the fields. What else? Types of counseling do you do? Like, do you?
I'm life. I'm marriage. I'm engagement. I'm family.
So you one-stop shop.
I got a big one, Karen. I got a great question. What do you think about marriages today in today's society?
In COVID era?
Yeah, no, pre-COVID era, like past 10 years. What do you think about? Yeah, what do you think about marriages today?
Do
you find yourself working with a lot more people nowadays than you used to, as far as like marriage counseling?
Very interesting. I have a lot of people, or a few people that I counsel in marriage, but they're older. I am counseling some couples who want to be engaged, and they want counseling prior to, they wanted counseling prior to even getting engaged. They know that they want to.
They're not trying to get divorced. That's what they're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're not trying to go. They're not trying to spend that money, get that lawn. That's
exactly.
That's actually a genius thing to do.
Yeah,
I'm actually like, where
I'm gonna use that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I'm bringing it to you first before I say I do.
Before I even pull the ring out.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, man.
But I mean, that's so key and it's so important and it's so wise because you millennials and emerging adults, right? It's just the sanctity of marriage is out the window, right?
It's gone.
It
I'm sorry,
really,
Karen. It's gone.
Really is. I don't think that you really understand what marriage is, and for many in your age group, it's all about the party, right? And the assumption of fun, right? And marriage is work.
Right.
That it is.
It's lifelong work. And unfortunately, people don't want to work.
Right.
They don't want to do the work.
So
there, oddly enough, those who are coming to marriage counseling are older people who understand the benefits, the time put in, right? And the sanctity of marriage.
And yeah, that's what I was gonna pick back and say, because I feel like, you know, our generation is not sold on the forever thing. Like, you know, like
Not at
it's,
all.
you know, I mean, you can't, you know, like,
Okay,
you
so
can't.
I have a question on this because I have a personal opinion, but how much do you put? What percentage do you put social media, not on marriage, not just on marriage, but mental health in general?
Oh my God.
Nowadays, Karen, how
Oh
much
my God.
percentage do you put social media in the everything looks beautiful on this picture or everything sounds good when I'm writing. I just got a new job and I did this and I'm in Cabo, I'm in France, and you know, I'm grabbing on this girl's ass or you know, all this other stuff. How much do you put on social media being the problem with mental health nowadays in society?
You know, I really want to say 99.9%.
Absolutely. I was about to say. I was about to say absolutely.
You answered.
You know, really. But I'll stretch to say 89%.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But really, in my heart, I want to say 99.9%.
Right.
Because it's a fairy tale. You understand?
Absolutely.
And it's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lie. You know, too many people are living a lie, producing a lie, promoting a lie, knowing that it's a lie, and just lying.
Right.
And people are believing the hype.
Right.
Even when they know their eyes are seeing a lie, you still, because we want to believe in the fairy tale, and it does not exist.
Right. Right.
It does not exist.
Right.
Listen, you don't want me to get into that because social media, I think, is going to be the death of us all. You know what
Listen,
I mean?
That global woman.
Yeah, well, that too. You know what I mean? And those looking pretty close together.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So yeah, this is what I want to say. You know, for those of your listeners in between 18 and 29, if I can say this, right?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you this.
But after 30,
yeah, because we turning 30 this year.
Yeah, okay. I'm getting old.
You really enter into adulthood, right?
Finally.
And by 30, you should have a good idea of some set goals. But we know that not to be the case, right? Because sometimes the 30 at the present time is maybe the 25.
Right.
Really, in terms of goals and really knowing what you're doing and also settling down, right? Because by 30, you're looking to settle down. You're looking to move into family and a career and all of that, because between 18 and 29, that's your developmental stage. That's your stage of possibilities. That's your stage of being reckless, right? Trying this and trying that because you're young and society tells you, look, you young, live your best life, right? Live your life like it's golden. Yes.
Okay. All right now.
I know when that come on, when the DJ come on, you outside with the good drink.
Excuse me.
Exactly.
But in actuality, you know, you should be trying to figure it out, right? So in figuring out life, that's very difficult. I had a conversation, so very interesting. My daughter, she's 27, and she's like, can I go back to being 10 where I had no issues? I had no
I think about that every day.
I didn't have to worry about gas. Bills don't go away. You understand?
It was fun.
And I said no, because at 10, I was trying to tell you then that you didn't want to be an adult and you was pushing towards adulthood.
Yeah, we always do when we're young.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's true. That's true.
The real fact of the matter is that at this age, while you're exploring life and possibilities and dabbling this and dabbling that, you need help. You need guidance, right? You do. And you need to talk to people or someone about the issues that you're having, because all of the millennials and emerging adults that I have are now really learning how to release all of the baggage, the junk that they've been carrying, the toxic air, the toxic relationships that you don't realize. You know that they're toxic, but somebody got to tell you, get out.
Yeah.
Get
And
out.
sometimes they even know it's wrong, and they just can't get out themselves. They know, but they can't get out.
You
And
continue in it. Why?
yeah,
Because no
it's
one's saying
comfortable. Right,
this is not what life is supposed to be.
right.
Life can be better. You
Mm-hmm.
can be better, but you don't know that because you're still exploring. You're
Right.
still searching for possibilities. And in that, you go around the mulberry bush, right?
Right.
You're not even moving forward. You're just going
Right.
around the mulberry bush. And you
Mm-hmm.
need somebody who has the education, has the experience, lived a little while, and can relate to you to say, hey, tap, tap, tap. What you
Exactly.
doing? Where are you
Exactly.
going? I'm going here. Well, you done been here before.
Mm.
Right. That's true.
Do you want something different?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Do you want to move forward? Or do you
Right.
want to keep doing this 360?
Right.
Mm.
Now,
Do you want to carry the unnecessary baggage that you've been carrying, even from adolescence? Or do you want to let that go so that you're free to run and move and grow?
Mm.
Karen, so I'm gonna ask both of you guys because
Lord.
this is gonna be this is I love this, man.
Calling out to you.
People gonna love this episode, man. But I'm gonna ask both of you guys. I'll start with Los first, and then I'm
Okay.
gonna go to you, Karen. This is gonna be a question I ask every guest.
Mhm.
But since this is Los's first day too, I'm gonna ask him, what does culture mean to you, sir? When somebody says culture, that word, right? And that word could be meant in so many different ways. What does culture mean to you specifically?
Wow, that's a lot because I think I blur many cultures
Mm-hmm.
because I'm West Indian. My parents
Mm-hmm.
are Guyanese, so
Mm-hmm.
I hope that I get that the Caribbean culture.
Mm-hmm.
My girl is Hispanic, so I get the Hispanic culture.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get the urban Black experience. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Because nobody looking at me, they don't know my heritage, my lineage. They just see me as American Negro. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
I get that aspect as well. So and then there's things that I get culture shocked too as well. You know what I mean? Going to college upstate, I'm like, what is going on?
I know that. I know that was like
People never seen a
yeah.
person my color, so I was like,
Yeah.
okay. But within that, I think that for me, I've always been some that always wanted to be immersed in all cultures and kind of understand cultures. I was always a thirst for knowledge, like
Right.
I see myself as like a well-traveled person,
Mm-hmm.
like a global businessman. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I could be like anywhere and blend in. You know what I mean? I
Right.
could be in Morocco and speak with people and break bread with them, and
Yeah.
so to me, I feel like kind of be just well tapped in and kind of being aware of yourself and then everybody else's norms, I guess. So I mean, it's a terrible answer for the question, but
No, it's
I
not.
think
There's no wrong answer. That's why.
that's true.
That's why
But
it's asked.
culture to me is basically the norms, the belief system, etiquette that is in a certain area and in a population. So to be the social political, I guess, answer would be that one. But
I like your answer. Your answer is what is important. I mean, the political is fine, but your answer is honestly what's important. And so, Karen, now hearing all that, you don't have to piggyback over any of that. I mean, honestly, everybody carries a different value in culture and what they feel it is and what they feel it is in their heart. So, to you, Karen, what is culture? That word or just that in general mean to you? What is that? What do you think of when you hear that?
I think that I'm probably going to go in the more simplest form. So culture is a way of life. And that way of life is predicated on your family values, your environment, your experience, and your beliefs, right? And as we grow older, we learn cultural diversity, right? Because as we're growing up, everything that we believe, everything that we do culturally, we're taught This is the way that it is. This is what we do, right? But as we get older, we experience diversity in culture, right? And so culture begins to take on a new meaning, right?
Right.
Because when you come of age of choice, you choose your culture, right? Which can be part of what you've grown up with, what you know. But as you have been diversified, you can take on other people's culture. Right. So culture is simply a way of life that we learn when we grow up and move from and develop as we get older.
Man, that was perfect. Both of y'all perfect. Let me say something just very, very clear right now. This is episode number 1, right? If you watch this episode and didn't learn something, if you watch this episode and didn't become brighter as a human being, if you watch this episode in the background and didn't want to run to make sure you listen, then please don't ever watch another episode of Culture Shock. Right?
Shame on you.
Right. Shame on you. Because
Fool that person.
Yeah, this is real knowledge. This is real love. This is actually, like it says on the bottom, free therapy. This is something that could tap into the heart. You know, people like to hear everything about the cars, the clothes, the women, the guys, and nails, hair, this, that. But this right here is impactful. This right here is a everyday thing. And Karen, let me tell you, from me, and I know Los feels the same way. Yeah, we are thankful that you even came on here and blessed us and everybody that watches this with your knowledge and your beauty, of course. And we're gonna be there for that mac and cheese.
Yo,
just know that.
Sure.
You don't
for
you
sure.
offer me mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese and fried chicken.
Yeah.
Is that listen, that was a personal invitation. We there.
Yeah, we are there.
Show podcast, we there.
We are there. So Karen, I just want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for being on the first episode, the cutting of the ribbon.
Yes.
On Culture Shock podcast, Karen. I want to say thank you, and we really appreciate you, Karen. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And not for nothing, Karen, plug yourself. Like, how can people get in contact with you?
Let's say let us know.
Hear you and like, I need to book her right away because this she sound like Auntie from the barbecue.
I am Auntie from the barbecue, but how I would do this is contact Patrick. And Patrick, if someone's serious about wanting to see what this therapy, counseling, coaching thing is all about, and I've struck a nerve through my passion, because that's what you heard.
That's what we heard.
I struck a nerve. If you're serious, contact Patrick. Contact him. He knows how to contact me.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah, I'm not going to put anything out there for you to play, because I don't play.
Right. I'll tell you one damn thing, she don't play. And she'll chase your ass down.
My time is valuable.
It is. That's the number one rule.
I put myself into you.
Yes.
So if you're serious, you're going to contact Patrick.
Yep.
You look at his next episode.
Exactly. And you don't go, if you do contact me, don't go into that stuff half-ass. I'll tell you that right now. Go into that with your soul, man. And if you don't know where your soul's at, she'll help you find it for real. It's a different experience, and it's the truth though. It really is the truth.
Soul searching.
So Karen, I just want to say thank you. Cheers to you. I really appreciate you. This is Culture Shock Podcast, episode 1. We are out of here, baby. Appreciate y'all.